Hello, everybody. It's Ken Faulkner, and we're back to the Faulkner 5. This is where I pick 5 knives and carry them one a week for the whole week as I'm getting ready for Blade Show. And the point is not only to carry these awesome knives, but also to distract myself from buying more awesome knives until I get to Blade Show, because then the floodgates come breaking down and money will flow from my pocket, guaranteed. Hopefully, I won't go too crazy, but I know I'm going to come away with some really nice stuff. Looking forward to that big time. But anyway, this is what we're here for today. Spartan Harsey Folder. This is the Royal Flush Edition. And I've done videos on this, so if you've seen those, you know what's going on with this. I bought it on a Black Friday sale because all these knives I've gotten some kind of discount on. I mean, with some of the budget ones, yeah, sure, I'll pay full price. But when I'm talking about the higher end ones, I tend to kind of hold off a little bit until I can find a good deal. And yeah, Black Friday sale brought this down below $400, which is definitely a lot. And I know it's something that some people will say, I'll never spend that much money on a knife. And I, at one point, kind of did say that to myself, but I proved myself wrong. Anyway, there's reasons why it's that expensive. It's been a great one to carry. It's a big knife. We're talking about a 4-inch blade. The handle is more than enough for the hand, for sure. You got some extra there. It's got that excellent jimping here, aggressive. I'm the type that likes the big knives, and I think that what tends to go along with those big knives is not minding some aggressive jimping, but it's not painful. The corners aren't so sharp that it hurts in any way. But you could definitely feel it. You can definitely feel it. It's not that little teeny jimping, which may grab, but doesn't dig quite in as much as this. You got some pretty deep areas for your thumb to go into. This is a solid knife. That's my big takeaway from the week, was that this is a very solidly built knife. You can see these pivot. I did take this apart. As part of the Faulkner 5, I'm doing like a cleaning and a sharpening at the end of the week. And it came apart pretty well, pretty easy. These two screws are the only ones I had to take off. Those are T10s, or no, sorry, T8s. And the pivot is a T15. That's a huge pivot. And it has both sides screwing into a barrel in the middle, and that goes through the blade, which has a very large hole. And then it's got phosphor bronze washers. They're different sizes, so you have to be careful which side is which when you're taking them apart. So be mindful of that. I've kind of learned from experience that I want to make sure that I know where everything came apart from, and that I put it back in the same way that it came apart, which isn't always an issue, but sometimes it is. And as long as you're careful about it, you'll be less disappointed when things go wrong. So yeah, solid knife. This titanium is nice and thick. The blade steel is nice and thick. Stabbing this, cutting into things, it's just solid. It's just very solid. Not the best for fidgeting. It does flick out. One hand action is easy enough to do, but it's not one that's going to really drop so much. It'll shake shut. The action is very smooth, so as you go through, it feels very smooth, very like precision mechanical. It's got the good etching on it. They do some really cool stuff with their etching. It's not my thing all the time, but I do like what they do. It's kind of muted. It's like a little purpley, bronzy kind of look. So it's more subtle. It's not some of those really bright colors, which, you know, I'm okay with, you know, looking at them, but it's not necessarily my favorite for knives. Sometimes I'll have it on a clip. There's some knives I have that are a little bit more of that sort of thing, but the real bright colors is not so much my thing. All bronzed out hardware. Thumb studs work really well, especially when you're not on the camera. No insert, but I haven't noticed on this one. I have not noticed any stick on the lock, any lock stick. So it locks up really well. We got a good like 50% on that. You can see those washers in there. So yeah, it came apart really well, cleaned up really nice, sharpened it up. Let's see how we cut. Grab some paper. Hope I don't knock everything over here. All right, Spyderco catalog from 22. And we'll cut out a page from that. And we'll see how it cuts. It's pretty thick behind the edge. You can tell without even measuring it. It is thick behind the edge. This is probably not what you would normally consider a very slicey blade, but the fact that it's good thick stock and it's got, you know, it's pretty tall. I mean, it's like a high saber. It still cuts pretty well. The coating on it is very tough. I had it kind of marked up a little bit, but when I cleaned it, I don't see any leftover marks on it. They say that the coating on these blades from Spartan are going to be as hard as the blade. So it's not cutting as well. And I will always give the disclaimer that I am not the best sharper in the world. So it is a little bit not so good on the paper, but it does the job just fine. Yeah, it's tearing a little bit. I didn't strop it up. I think I need to do that. I'm gonna go ahead and do that after the video's over. I got down to a ceramic, and it gave it a pretty good edge. The ceramic kind of gives you that little bit of a mirror effect, which is nice. But I'm sure I could use a stropping. I did not do that yet. Should have done it before we started the video, but it is what it is. But it's, like I say, it's still cutting. It's not a slouch on the cutting. But I don't think that's really what this is really designed for. It's not one of these slicey machines. So, overall, great knife. Really glad to have it in the collection. It's somewhat legendary thing, as a lot of these are. First week was the Strider SNG. That's well known. The one coming up next week is also a pretty well-known knife. Hinder XM18. So I'm excited about that. I haven't owned this one as long. I picked this up used maybe a few months ago, kind of close to the whole really wasn't supposed to be buying thing, but this came up, the opportunity. Now this one does fidget much better and drops much better. It does have the tri-way. I can't remember. I will check before I start getting into the videos whether or not. I think it's got the bearings in it right now from the way the action is. But anyway, another great knife, another great week coming up, and I'll be coming back to you with a review of how this one went next week. I will be out of town on the weekend, so it may not come out during the weekend. It may be sometime later next week. Blade Show is, so I got 3 knives left. We got a little bit more than 3 weeks left until Blade Show, so I might, because of my little short trip in between, I may not be ending the weeks on Sunday like I have been once we get past this one. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, thanks a lot for this little following along on this little journey of mine, and I'll see you on the next one.